All right, welcome. So, forgive me, this is my first time going live here on YouTube. So, this is going to be a little bit of a learning experience here. Let me see, I want to see if I can share my screen. Okay. Let's see. So, let's just get started. I have some footnotes that I'm going to be working off of here. But, anyways, welcome to the first episode of Traffic Talk with Tyler. So, what this is all going to be about. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Tyler Day. I'm the co owner of Optimize to Convert. Um, I'm partners with my brother Peter Day, and our company operates in the lead generation space. So, we generate and sell leads in major verticals like insurance, finance, and all kinds of areas, really. Like every major lead generation vertical that has large amounts of volume. We have some traffic in pretty much. And we've been operating in this industry for over 9 years now. And our company actually generates over $20 million a year selling leads. So, what this podcast is all going to be about, it's really just going to be me talking, and it's going to be just me sharing my ideas, whatever is trending, whatever I think I want to talk about. And, if you've been following me, I haven't actually been putting out content for about a year now. So I took sort of a step back to basically just focus on our main business. So, um, our company has always been in the business of selling leads, but for a while we had courses we were selling and we had a coaching program available. In 2021, I basically took a step back from selling courses and doing coaching to basically just put 100% of my attention on my business. And right now, that's pretty much where things stand still. So I'm still not really selling courses much. I'm not really doing coaching. And I have pretty much all my attention on the business, but I do want to provide some value for you guys and put out some content. So every couple weeks, I'm going to be putting out one of these episodes. And um, yeah, I mean, this is basically just how I'm going to be moving forward, putting out content. I used to just share everything in private one-on-one coaching settings or inside of a course. But with this format, it's going to be much more open, and anyone can sort of learn from these videos and learn about what we're up to and hear about um, whatever is going on in our business or in the industry in general. So, first things first, what have I been up to lately? So, this week, I just went to the Lead Generation World Conference, and it was actually the first time that I had been traveling in a while. So I took a break from traveling to conferences for some time just because of the pandemic and everything going on. Made it a little bit unpleasant to travel. And obviously, there were health concerns too. But Lead Generation World is happened in San Diego, where I live. So it was easy enough for me to go to this conference, and really, I enjoyed it quite a lot. There were a lot of really great people there, a lot of familiar faces from the industry, and I just felt really fortunate to be able to go there and to meet new people and to get new clients. And I'm really happy with the way things went there. And yeah, what a year it's been. So in 2021 for our business was a big year of expansion. So prior to 2021, our business model was focused mainly just on doing lead generation on Facebook. Um, our business was a little bit too focused on Facebook ads, really. In 20, prior to 2021, we were doing doing fine on Facebook, but really my goal for 2021 was to branch out more into other traffic sources. So, um, sort of how the company's structured. So, I'm a co-owner in the company. My brother Peter is the CEO, and I'm basically the second in command. So, um, what I've been focused on, Peter's been more focused on managing our Facebook ads division of the company. And what I focused on in 2021 was actually branching out into other areas of traffic. So I started 2021 in the first quarter of 2021, basically learning how to do SMS. And that was an interesting experience. There were a lot of technical skills that were involved with figuring out how to do commercial SMS. And, we had some good initial traction in that area. The SMS business hasn't been as profitable as I'd hoped, mainly due to commercial SMS rate increases that happened around quarter two of 2021. So, yeah, we're still doing some SMS, but it's not a huge part of our business. Mainly right now, we're focused mostly just on paid traffic on multiple different traffic sources. So after we formed the SMS division of the company, got a little team in place to manage that, I moved on to learning some other traffic sources. So um, I learned how to run YouTube ads over the summer, and that's been a really fantastic area of growth. Um, we also learned how to run TikTok ads as well. So right now we're getting traffic from a really diverse amount of places, from Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, SMS, and also some email traffic. Um, so yeah, right now our business is in a good place for growth. We've been building out different divisions and media buyers for all these different traffic sources, and there's been a whole lot that we learned along the way. So I'll share with you some of the lessons that I learned from um, basically developing skill in all these different areas, and um, try to shed some light on how you can replicate the same thing. So the main learning lesson from 2021 is to just always be in a state of learning new things. So prior to 2021, we were having a hard time really like seeing astronomical growth in our business. We were seeing tremendous growth in traditional terms year over year, but really our goal um, for 2021 was to take things to a whole nother level. And in order to do that, it required us to learn some new skills. So some things are really challenging to learn. It took me about 4 months or so to really figure out SMS, and it took me about another 4 months to really figure out YouTube and TikTok ads. Um, if you can find a mentor to help you learn these things, it can definitely be a big shortcut. So fortunately, in the SMS area, I did have a mentor of somebody that has, a really established multi-million-dollar business in the SMS industry. Um, really, a really solid guy who basically took me under his wing and showed me how to send out commercial SMS deployments, and we managed to pick up a handful of clients in that area to manage their SMS sending. It wasn't as challenging to figure out the SMS due to having a mentor, but it was really challenging to figure out YouTube specifically because we really just had no prior experience in that area. So figuring out YouTube, we really had to go back to square one. So I ended up purchasing a course to learn YouTube. The course was called Profit Singularity. It's a popular one going around. It was it was released like around August or September, and yeah, we went. I went through the course just as a student. I mean, I went through it as if I was a brand new person, like learning how to run ads on YouTube from scratch. Like I really had no experience running YouTube ads, but obviously I've had a lot of success on other platforms. But YouTube was really new because on Facebook ads we run a lot of just like more simplistic image creatives. With YouTube, it's more focused on video ad production. So there were new skills that we needed to learn and a lot of trial and error that we needed to figure out to make that work. So um, I went through the course and I ended up hiring a media buyer to work with me on testing YouTube ads. And it took us a few months of really trial and error, just like anyone else coming into it from scratch to really figure out what we were doing. So um, we started testing. The course was all focused around testing offers from ClickBank and these sort of video sales letter type of offers. A lot of it focused in the Nutra category. We started out testing that stuff just because it's like what they were recommending in the course, but we weren't really having very good success like with the type of offers that they were recommending. So we just started testing more things that were more proven for us, like from the Facebook ad side of the business, primarily just like our blue chip lead generation offers. So major verticals like insurance, finance, so on and so forth. So once we started to test some more of our proven offers, we actually started to see some really good traction on YouTube. And yeah, it wasn't an overnight thing. I mean, we probably had to spend about $70,000 in testing and lose a considerable amount of money before we were actually able to flip profitable on YouTube. But once we were able to flip profitable, we realized that there's just an enormous amount of scalability on YouTube. And also, there's been a lot of stability in YouTube. So, as you scale up on YouTube, your profit margins tend to stay pretty consistent. And um, yeah, I mean, there's just an enormous amount of growth potential on YouTube. So, really what took some work figuring out on YouTube was just figuring out how to produce these video ads that were really high converting. So the course that we went through called Profit Singularity had some really great training on YouTube ads that was enormously helpful on basically how to write out a script and design your ad copy in a certain way and produce the videos around the script that you're producing. And yeah, I mean, we pretty much followed the training in the course. Other than the type of offers, we steered more towards our traditional lead gen offers rather than the ClickBank type offers that they were recommending in the course. And also we brought in some of our ad copy skills into like writing scripts for video ads that started to produce profit for us, and we're now scaling that up significantly. Um, so, anyways, yeah, it was really exciting to um, figure out some new ad platforms. We're actually really liking the TikTok ad platform too. So, TikTok has been a great a great ad platform. It's pretty similar to Facebook. Like the ad manager in TikTok actually looks like pretty much identical to the Facebook ad manager. And the campaign structure of TikTok is pretty much identical to Facebook as well. So it was actually really, really not hard at all for us to get profitable on TikTok. Um, we only really tested like a couple of campaigns before we started seeing profit. Mainly, what's great about TikTok right now is the costs are pretty cheap, so the CPMS are considerably lower on TikTok than they are on Facebook. And yeah, I mean, the TikTok, it's all video ads too, more so like shorter video ads under 30 seconds. But we were able to basically just take some of our winning creatives from Facebook and reformat them for the TikTok ad format, and we started seeing profit on there pretty much right away. So yeah, TikTok, it's been a great one. If you haven't started running traffic on TikTok yet, I would highly recommend it. Another area that we got interested in 2021 was actually generating calls, doing pay per call, alongside promoting lead generation offers where they fill out a form. So the difference between generating leads and generating calls is that, when you're generating leads, you have an affiliate link where people are filling out like 12 something fields of information, giving their information. Let's say they're signing up for auto insurance. They would give like their name, their address, phone number, whatever details about, related to the offer that they need. And, traditionally you would get paid on somebody filling out your lead form. But then what they do with that lead form is they send it to a call center where they have representatives calling the leads and closing them into whatever insurance policy or whatever offer that you're promoting. So that's been traditionally like how we've had success in this is promoting lead form offers. But there's a whole other side to the lead generation industry, which is pay per call, where instead of getting you're getting paid to have people basically directly dial in to the call centers. So with pay per call, you basically get issued like a dedicated number, the same way that you would get issued an affiliate link for generating leads. And what we figured out is that it's actually incredibly lucrative. The payouts can be very, very high for pay per call since there's a lot of intent behind somebody dialing in, and usually how it works is that they have to stay on the line for over 2 minutes or something like that, and then it'll trigger a payout. Like the payouts are going to be different for every single vertical, so I don't want to be quoting exact numbers, but let's just say a user stays on the line for 2 minutes and you get paid $30 for the duration of that call. The payouts can go higher or lower for different types of industries and verticals. Sometimes you can see payouts north of even $100 for just a short 2-minute call. So um, pay per call has been a great area to expand out into, and it's something that we're still really developing more within our company. So we really started having success with this, in the last quarter. So we're really scaling up significantly in that area, and I'm hoping to at least double our company revenue here in 2022 by expanding out, generating both leads and calls across all of the big ad platforms. And I really don't plan on stopping here. There's a lot of other areas, a lot of different ad platforms that I still have yet to master, like the Google Display Network or native ads. So yeah, there's always room for growth. And anyone that tells you that the affiliate industry is dead, you definitely shouldn't listen to that, because I can tell you firsthand that the affiliate industry is actually just growing bigger every year. And it's not going to die. I mean, as long as there are operating companies that are selling products or selling services, they're going to need leads. And that's what we are. We're traffic providers, we're lead generators, and there's always going to be an opportunity to generate leads and traffic for companies, regardless of what market we're in, whether we're in a bear market in the stock market. It doesn't matter. Companies are always going to need leads, and that's what we're here to provide. Okay. So that being said, our company is expanding dramatically. I want to double our company growth and our company revenue in 2022. We are hiring, so if you are interested in working with us, if you have some experience running lead generation offers on any of the ad platforms that I've mentioned, we're certainly interested in talking to you. So don't be a stranger. You can contact me on Facebook or on Skype. My Skype address is tdayskype. 123. So yeah, if you're interested in working with us, potentially being on our media buying team, I'm going to be adding within the next month or so. I'm going to be adding some new team members across multiple different traffic sources. So we're always um, just interested in connecting and networking with people that are out there, that are looking to work with us. So that's actually a big reason why I am starting up this series too. Is just, since we're not traveling as much, since the flying has become kind of a hassle, and especially like traveling internationally to conferences, or it's just not something I really want to do much. So I really want to work on just connecting with more people, through our community here. And if you're watching this and you've been following us, just don't be a stranger, and reach out to us, and let's see how we can do business together. Okay. So what else? So we have been building out some of our own lead generation offers. That's an area that we started to expand out into in 2021 as well. Um, we have a handful of offers. I'm not really at liberty to disclose everything we're working on, but I can tell you about a new solar offer that we have live. So solar is a great vertical. There's always demand for solar panels. People love to save on electricity. We launched a lead generation offer based around solar. So if you're looking to just work with us as an independent traffic provider and you want to sell us leads, we will buy leads from you from in the solar industry, and also a handful of other verticals as well that we have offers built out in. So what that means is that you can actually work with us directly. And if you're interested in doing something like that, again, reach out to me on Skype. My Skype address is tdayskype123. Okay. So yeah, if you want to sell leads to us, if you have a vertical that you're looking for more cap in, we have direct buyers and our own offers in many of the major lead gen verticals. So again, don't be a stranger. A lot of the reason why I'm relaunching this YouTube series is just to connect with people. I'm not here to sell coaching. I'm not here to sell courses. I'm here to make partnerships and to build long-term relationships and grow my business. So um, okay. Okay, yeah. So somebody asked what the learning curve was like for pay per call. So the learning curve for pay per call was a little bit tricky to figure out. There's a lot of different approaches to doing pay per call. Okay. One approach to doing pay per call is just to run an ad where you put a phone number like in the ad itself. Um, let's say that you're running an ad and you have your call to action is just a phone number for somebody to click directly from an ad and go to. Um, we tried doing pay per call like that at first, but the quality was really poor because we had a lot of people calling in that basically just like saw the phone number in an advertisement and didn't really like fully understand what they were calling in about. Maybe they thought it was like a customer support line for um, their car insurance or whatever vertical, and just putting an ad out there with a phone number in the ad, it wasn't really working. It was not good quality for the call centers. So we took a little bit of a different approach of basically doing a little bit more pre-qualifying before we gave them the phone number to call in for us to get paid on the call. So instead of going for a call like right up front, we basically um, used our traditional method of doing like our survey quizzes, all the style of landing pages that you guys know and love, like from our courses back in the day. Basically, like we would run an ad going to a a landing page where basically we pre-qualify the user with a couple questions, and then traditionally we would redirect them to like a lead form offer where we would get paid for a lead, but instead of that, we basically direct them to a call to action page where we instruct them to dial in to a phone number instead of filling out a lead form. And that method was actually a big breakthrough for us in the pay per call space. So all of a sudden the quality of the calls was wonderful because now there was more pre-selling and intent behind the call, and people really understood like what they were calling in for, and there was just a little bit more quality and intent behind the call. And what we actually found is that the the calls actually are a little were have been a little bit more lucrative for us for certain verticals, for certain campaigns, because you're just going a little bit more directly to the source. Like instead of somebody filling out a lead form and then getting called like later down the road, we could just have them called directly into the call center and get closed right then and there on an insurance policy or whatever the vertical was. So, yeah, I mean, it's something that we're growing in. Um, and also what you can do is you can do a hybrid model too. So, if you are running a lead gen offer and promoting a lead form, you could actually just put a phone number like on the site too, and just give them an option to call in as well. So yeah, running um, if you're running in any of the major lead gen verticals and you're promoting leads right now, and you're looking to branch out into generating calls, just reach out to us, and we have some call centers that we can get you plugged into potentially, and partner together on that. So um, yeah, reach out to me. Again, my Skype is tdayskype123, and we can talk about that. So anyways, another area that I got really interested in the past couple years is actually crypto. So you know, I think, just for a short segment, like at the end of these traffic talks, like I'll talk a little bit about what I see going on in the cryptocurrency space. Obviously right now, like we're in a bear market in crypto, so the price of Bitcoin is down 40% or so from the all-time high. Um, the stock market has actually been falling significantly the past couple weeks. But there's definitely some undeniable trends going on in the crypto space, across all different areas. So, what we'll start talking about today is about Bitcoin and what I think is fundamentally bullish about Bitcoin. But I'm also not a Bitcoin maximalist, so I'm interested in all sorts of different areas in crypto and blockchain. And we'll talk about it more in future episodes, but for today, we'll talk a little bit just about Bitcoin itself, right? So um, I started buying Bitcoin back in 2017 in the last bull market. I didn't really have a significant position until like 2020. I actually bought a significant position in around when the COVID crash happened in 2020. A little bit after it happened, I mean, my entry on Bitcoin was around $10,000, but I was really interested in using Bitcoin as a savings instrument. So, around the time that I bought, the government was mailing out stimulus checks, and it was very obvious that there was going to be a lot of inflation coming up. And I got really passionate about the idea of owning a currency that no government could print more of. And it's been an undeniable trend in the past couple years since then that, this is here to stay. It's definitely not going anywhere. Even while the network is falling, the amount of people that hold even just a little bit of Bitcoin keeps going up and up and up. So the underlying network is just constantly growing and constantly expanding. Even just within this past week, there was an announcement from Google that they're working on integrating like a Bitcoin payment card into their wallet. And also, the company Intel announced that they are going to be getting into the Bitcoin mining space, producing ASICs. So it's certainly not bullish for, or not bearish long term. Um, Another aspect is that Bitcoin mining hash rate, which is essentially the energy being used to mine Bitcoin, is actually at an all-time high right now. Um, so that's actually really fundamentally bullish long term for Bitcoin. Um, in the very early days of Bitcoin, before Bitcoin even had a price and was trading on exchanges, one of the earliest valuation models for coming up with an initial price for Bitcoin was basically based around the cost of the energy required to mine a Bitcoin. And in the beginning, that cost was very small, like pennies, because people were mining Bitcoin from computers, and the energy cost was practically nothing. But as the mining hash rate increases, so does the difficulty to mine Bitcoin. So all of a sudden, people had to spend more and more money and have more and more compute power to mine Bitcoin. And um, the Bitcoin hash rate has been in an upward trend since Bitcoin's conception. And if if Bitcoin can be modeled based on the amount of energy that it's required to mine one Bitcoin, then the current market conditions fundamentally are looking very bullish, because over the summer we had about a 50% correction in the Bitcoin hash power as China banned the Bitcoin mining, and we saw a significant dip. We had a over a 50% correction that coincided with a 50% drop in hash rate. But right now, where the network stands is that we've had another 40% dip from the all-time highs, but the the Bitcoin hash rate is actually making new all-time highs. So it doesn't really seem like long term the network fundamentals are bearish. And I think right now we're just suffering from like a correlation with the stock market and the rest of the tech industry. So as of right now today, like a lot of big tech companies like Tesla, Netflix, and just the entire stock market in general is taking a huge dive. And unfortunately, crypto is still considered like a risk on like tech investment. So it's basically correlating with the rest of the global stock market. But really, if you're like just getting into the crypto space right now, or if you've been already invested in it, it's really just a great time to be learning about the industry and learning about like what the different investment opportunities are. And we'll be talking about that over the course of the coming months. I do believe that we're in a bear market here of sorts. I'm not a fortune teller. I have no idea like when the price is going to go higher or lower, but fundamentally, I'm very bullish long term on this space. So, anyways, guys, we will talk more about it. Oh, one thing that I wanted to talk about also related to Bitcoin is the idea of using Bitcoin as like a treasury reserve asset. And um, basically, the way that my company is structured with me and Peter, me and Peter own our entire company, and we're the only two owners of the company. Peter owns the majority share, like 60% of the company. I own about 40% of our company. Um, so for us, what the using Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset for us basically looked like us paying ourselves bonuses individually and then buying it in our own investment portfolio. But there's been an undeniable trend of corporations actually using Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset on their balance sheet over a long period of time. So when I bought, like the price was around like 10,000, like spring of 2020, and a few months later we had um, a, $1 billion tech company, MicroStrategy, announced that they were going to be accumulating and holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And the CEO, Michael Saylor, actually went on and bought billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. And soon after, we had Tesla follow with their balance sheet announcement. And a trend that just hasn't stopped since then is basically more and more publicly traded companies holding Bitcoin on their balance sheet, mostly like crypto native companies. So, like a lot of Bitcoin mining companies went public or have been public and started actually accumulating Bitcoin on their balance sheet. And and then above and beyond that, we actually had a nation state start accumulating it on their balance sheet too, with El Salvador. So there's an undeniable trend that Bitcoin potentially has a place as a treasury reserve asset, um, for like big tech companies or for anyone that's just really concerned about like high amount of inflation. So the whole benefit of Bitcoin is to have a currency that no government can print more of, and that you know nobody can really control or change the supply of. And it turns out that that's something that we actually really do need right now, because you know tech companies right now are struggling. I mean, you can see the stock prices. Inflation is really, really high. Inflation is not really beneficial for companies, honestly. Like, you would think that inflation is good for companies because the stock prices all go up and this and that. But if a company is sitting there and they have, let's say, $100 million on their balance sheet in cash, and then the government prints 20% more money, or the reported inflation rate right now is about 7%. So, let's just say every year that $100 million is like losing 7% to inflation. A lot of the yield that big tech companies are getting on their cash balance is actually like underperforming inflation. So, big tech companies, some of them only really get like a couple percent gains on their cash every year. It certainly makes a big hurdle for companies to keep up and be positive in inflation adjusted terms when they're holding a whole bunch of cash on their balance sheet. And that's a big reason why MicroStrategy made such a large allocation, and they started buying it around like 10, 12,000 too. So they're up significantly on a lot of their purchases. Um, the best thing that you can do is just like, since we're in a bear market, maybe start to dollar cost average in over the course of, every week or every month, and have the idea that we could potentially be in a downtrend for like the rest of the year, maybe, or who knows how long. But I definitely wouldn't advise like going all in, or doing anything like that, like at once. So, um, really, the best strategy for playing Bitcoin and crypto in general has been to accumulate during the bear market and really identify like where the most value is in the space and what's really going to be around for like 10 years plus. And generally the people that do best are the ones that um, dollar cost average in the bear market and have like a long time horizon, at least like 5 or 10 years. So, anyways, I think that's all for today. So, we'll be back. I'm gonna try to do this every 2 weeks. So I don't want to set an unrealistic goal for myself. Like, I have a lot going on, and a big reason why I had to step back from producing content in the past year was just so that I could be completely focused on my business. So I don't want to set an unrealistic goal for myself of putting out too many videos every week or something like that. Um, okay, so just to summarize, if you're looking to join our media buying team, if you want to work under me directly and run YouTube ads, TikTok ads, Facebook ads, we're going to be hiring. So don't be a stranger. If you are an affiliate and you want to promote our offers, you can reach out to me. We have offers that we've built in multiple major lead generation verticals. If you are generating leads and you want to start generating calls, we can get you plugged into some of our call centers for major lead gen verticals. And again, this is really the whole point of this, is to be networking and building relationships, and just providing some value for you guys. Okay, so anyways, I do have to run, and I'm glad to be back making content for you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.